making the most of a menial task. We're going to delve into what this means, what I mean by this video, and hopefully you can use this to your advantage as always. I think making the most of menial tasks, because we go through so many of them throughout life, if we can try and gain a little bit more from them in terms of work, in terms of, mindset, knowledge, how good would that be? Because then you're just extending your experiences elsewhere and you're just learning from them, and therefore hopefully pushing towards that fulfilling life that we all want. So a menial task is something that doesn't really demand too much thought, right? Especially tasks that you've done in, day in, day out, that are part of your routine, that require no more thought because they're in your routine. You've done them, let's say, for a couple of weeks now. You just do it naturally now because you're used to it, right? That's just part of a routine. It's what happens when you do a task so many days in a row, so many weeks in a row. It gets ingrained in your brain, right? And your body and your mind just understand and to do it without thinking. This is so your mind can save space on tasks that don't need your energy anymore, thinking wise, and can use it elsewhere, right? The best way to understand is to give an example as always. And let's say you brush your teeth. Most of the time, if not all the time, you do not need to think about brush your teeth. You naturally and instinctively go pick up a toothbrush, open the toothpaste, put it on, and brush your teeth, right? Without thinking. Doesn't need thinking. And have you ever noticed what happens when you do that? Your mind starts to wander elsewhere because doesn't want to be used to do this task that knows how to do perfectly. It wants to be aware of what's going on because it wants to be able to absorb more information from the environment, right? Let's say you're in the shower as well. Another key example, you're in the shower and this is also known as shower thoughts. A lot of times, famous singers gain a lot of lyrics from the shower because the reason why is because when you're doing a menial task, your mind is, like I said, is thinking, and so they're able to, kickstart their creative processes in their brain, and dish out lyrics here and there. That's just an artist example, and I think what we need to look at from an everyday average person is how can we use that to our advantage, right? I'm not a singer, maybe you're a singer, maybe you're an aspiring lyricist, but personally I'm not. And so I ask myself, how can I use this to my advantage? And the best way is understanding that every time I have a menial task, brushing teeth, washing the dishes, even walking, clearing your head, walking to A to B, making your bed. These are short tasks that, understandably menial, and they are very thought provoking because they're menial, right? Doesn't mean I don't have to waste energy and brain power thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just doing it and my mind is elsewhere. And these are the stages where it's perfect for us to think about anything and everything, right? If you're struggling on a problem at work, what do they recommend? Go out for a walk, and you can figure out while walking. What a beautiful way to understand what's going on, right? This can also be extended into creative thinking. For example, when I'm trying to create these videos, I come up with these ideas when I'm doing menial tasks, brushing teeth, getting in the shower. I come up with a lot of these from those tasks because that's the time where I can think. Same at the gym, at the moment I'm in such a routine where I know what I'm doing, and in between sets I can think. I'm just thinking, okay, what can I do for my next video? What can I do tomorrow? How can I plan tomorrow? What's my plan going forward for the rest of the week? Have I done this? Have I done that? It's a very good way to keep yourself in check and making the most of the time. Because obviously no one really likes doing these tasks. Not all the time anyways. So making yourself think and learn, gaining more from the task than the task itself, how beneficial is that? So every time you brush your teeth, or if you're striving to learn more every time you brush your teeth, you're going to expedite the process of you learning, whatever that may be. Like I said, the example for me is creating these videos. They are thought-provoking, hopefully, and me using these menial tasks to my advantage this is proof here, right, that it works. Because like I said, a lot of these videos are thought of through this creative thinking way, right? I don't sit down and think, right, what's my next video? They just come to me naturally throughout the moments of the day when I have these menial tasks, because we all have them, right? We all have different parts of the day where we're not really thinking much. Let's start using that to advantage, right? If you're not thinking about what task you happen to do, perfect. Let's, maybe even listen to a podcast that you can learn from what they're speaking to you. Maybe you can read at the same time you're doing a task. Maybe that's a bit harder. But there's so many different ways where you can use it to advantage. And I think it's really key for us to do that because we're maximizing our potential, right? We're making the most of our time on this planet. So I think it's important to, one, recognize when we're doing a menial task, and two, make the most of it, right? We're not always going to get menial tasks at us, but when we are doing them and we are used to doing them, make the most of it. Think outside the box. You know, what can I be doing tomorrow? What can I plan tomorrow? What am I eating for dinner tonight? Can I plan anything in my head? It may seem very surface level, but trust me, the more you do it, the more potential you have. It's all about potential. And once again, it all links back down to living a fulfilling life. If I'm doing more, I'm experiencing more, I'm achieving more personally, I feel like I'm living a fulfilling life because I'm making the most out of the body I have, the life I have. Because every day that goes by, you don't get back. I don't want to live with regrets. You don't want to live with regrets, right? So if I'm making the most of all the time I have, what other best way can I live my life, right? There's not a wasted time, or I strive to prevent wasted time throughout my life, right? So I want to maximize every second I get. And I think boosting this creative thinking through these menial tasks is another way that helps me and potentially will help you live a fulfilling life. Leave you with a quote from Mr. Albert Einstein. Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought.